Well, here we are, back. Video number 51, and it has been a while, at least in the context of how frequent the first 50 videos were. The second round of 50 is off to a very slow start, but that's the main theme of today, is just get the viewers up to speed with what's been going on. But yeah, I think as always, there's a short explanation. I've been sick and my family have been unwell, and truth be told, as I said countless times in the first 50 videos, I am not going to do these if two things are the case. One, if I'm not working. I have barely worked in the last 2 weeks in terms of full days. In fact, I don't think I have had a full day. I had a day away with a potential client in Manchester, and that was about, I think, as far as a full day of work goes, that was probably it. So it has been a strange time in that sense, but the priority has just been, either helping my family because they're unwell, or else recovering from whatever it is that I've had. Thankfully, it seems like we're all coming out the other end of things, which is all good. And I mean, even this week though, it's kind of like a bit up in the air in terms of what work I can do. There's not too much client stuff on this week, which is nice. But yeah, I suppose today has been the most I've worked. Today and yesterday have been the most I've worked in 2 weeks, which is good. So yeah, but we can get up to speed with things. Again, even just probably just even refresh my own mind before I start doing these again. It always comes back to why you do this, or the reason for doing these videos. And I had a couple of examples maybe a month or two ago where I took time off, or I explained how beneficial the flexibility of being a business owner is. And again, this just ties into that whole point of, to me, if I think about the last 2 weeks in the context of if I was a full-time employee somewhere, absolutely, I'd like to think, and I think of the employers I've had so far in my life, and they absolutely can be reasonable. They would give you time off, they'd make sure you're okay. I never had a scenario where I was with an employer where they would be, or you'd hear some of these crazy stories which, were disappointing, but things like, can you do that bit of work this afternoon even though you're sick, and things like that. So yeah, that said, because you're your own boss, I mean, I think while it's been frustrating for me at points, as with anything, you're not making progress. It's been much less stressful than it would have been if I'd probably been working somewhere full time and maybe in a high pressure role where maybe people were relying on me to do things for them, to help them, etc. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't think there's too much more to talk about. I mean, the reality is, circumstances outside of my control meant I have been working, which means no videos, which means here we are. The business itself though, ironically, during the 2 week period, things have been good with clients. They've been all good there. The work I have done has been client work. I've cancelled quite a lot of either intro calls, or haven't really posted too much on LinkedIn. Basically anything that is not client work has either been pushed or cancelled or delayed, and there's not too much of that. So as everybody knows, if you've watched a few of these videos even, my time goes between clients or new business, and the client work takes priority. If you can't do anything else, you do the client work. So that's what's been up. Successfully onboarded a new client during the last 2 weeks, which has been brilliant. They're based over in the US again, which I'm over the moon about. I think I mentioned that the last time I did a video, but regardless, I have no problem mentioning that again. So business wise, we're at a nice spot in terms of clients and revenue, which is always nice. And pipeline now, I've worked through pretty much. So we're 2 weeks into Q2. I will get to some objectives, which I actually only got around to doing today, basically, for Q2. But in terms of a Q1, recap, that's something I want to do either this week or next week or whatever. I don't think I properly did that in one of my last videos, but yeah, anyhow, if there's stuff there that I think might be valuable or interesting, I'll touch on it again. But for the most part, the ambition or the focus for the next 10 weeks that remains of Q2 is really to keep on the same track as Q1, where I was in Q1. By that, so if I run through these quickly, four key objectives for the business and myself in the next 10 weeks. So my aim is to bring a client in every 6 weeks, every 4 to 6 weeks. I'm working with someone now, as I've discussed, who's going to support me on the LinkedIn side of things, which is exciting. That's going well so far. But the ambition will be to try and on average bring a client in every 4 to 6 weeks. That would leave me at around 8 or 9 clients at the end of Q2, which is the aim. Number 2, I more or less have a version 1.0 of this currently, or 1.1 maybe, but I really want to complete a system for managing my clients. I currently use Notion. I think I've mentioned that, but it's a pretty basic system. For me internally, there's a bit more to it. For the clients externally, there's really not that much to it. I would like both to be improved. I've pretty clear idea of what I want to do, so it's a case of just creating it. I think that is one of those things where a good day or two worth of time and that will be done, and that's probably the way to approach it, as opposed to like drip feeding kind of, or to take a more staggered approach with this. I just need to block the time and get it done. So that's number 2. Number 3 then is consistently posting 5 times a week on LinkedIn, and I've put the phrase with ease there. So yeah, there's a system created, use a template that I've been given now. A lot of the work I've done so far on that side in the last couple of weeks has been getting ideas down on paper, which is good. Really just want to get incredibly confident at creating content that's spot on for the target audience on LinkedIn. So go from maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10 to like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 by the end of Q2. And then number 4 is the event / client offsite that I've mentioned a couple of times loosely in the past. I just want to make sure that's actually completely planned by the end of Q2, and it will happen some point in Q3. So those are the 4 things for the business. But if you summarize it, it's bring in new clients, improve how I'm operating the business, and then after that it's the marketing side of the company, I suppose. So wow, anyway, I'm tired talking about this stuff because I haven't done it so long. Not used to. I say tired, I'm just getting out of breath because I'm talking quite quickly. So anything else in my mind? Not really. I just wanted to pretty much get moving again on these. So not working Friday this week, or if I am, it's very short. So yeah, depending on how things are personally, might do another video too this week. It just depends what I'm working, and that's it. So you may hear from me, you may not.